Hi everyone, welcome back. Imagine you are working on a project and your manager asks for one small change. You make that change and suddenly three other modules stop working. Sounds familiar? That usually happens because of a poor software design. In this video, I will explain 5 solve principles using simple real life examples, and here we are not doing any no code, or we don't have any complexity here, just pure understanding. So when we start coding, we focus mainly on making things work. But real project making it work is not enough. It should be easy to maintain, it should easy to scale, and it should easy to change. That's where Solve principle helps. Solve is like a blueprint for building software properly. Think of it like a constructing a building. If the foundation is weak, everything become risky, right? The same with the software. Okay, now let's understand what is the solid. Okay, so here the solid is means the each word or each character has a meaning, right? The S stands for simple responsibility, O stands for open and closed, and L stands for Liskov substitution, and I stands for interface segregation, and D stands for dependency inverse. Now we can go through each and every principle. Like first we can start with S, that is the single responsibility principle. The rule is a class should have only one reason to change. Okay, so by this name and by this rule and by these images, you should, by this term you may be getting some idea, right? What is mean by this particular rule, right? So imagine a chef in a restaurant. What is the chef responsibility? Cooking, right? So now imagine in this scenario, the chef is taking orders, cleaning tables, managing billing, buying vegetables. That is little difficult, right? Why? Because one person is doing too many things. That exactly what happens in software too. One component should have one responsibility. If one thing changes, only one part should be affected. Okay, so if you look on here, okay, so this is kind of a tightly coupled. Okay, so here if I want to change something, I have to do modification like in every part. Okay, so this is a very bad design. So that is why we are saying like one class should have only one reason to change. So simple line to remember, one person, one job. That is single responsibility principle. Okay, now next is open close principle, that is called OCP. The rule is open for extension but closed for modification, which means if I have a code is there, we should not modify the code, but we should able to extend the code. Okay, so think about a mobile charger. Earlier the phones had only one charging type, right? Like USB-C, wireless charging and fast charging. Okay, so did the phone need to be redesigned for these changes? No, right? They extend the charging options, not modified the entire phone. So that is what we call the open close principle. So your system should allow adding new features without changing old working part. So simple line to remember is like extend, don't break. Next is L, right? That is Liskov substitution principle. The rule is derived classes must be able to replace their base class. Okay. Suppose like somebody says that, okay, we will give you a car. So what is your expectation? Our expectation is it can move, it can transport, right? Now imagine they have given a car which is, they have given a broken car, right? Technically it is a vehicle, but it is, we cannot perform our expectation, or it is not meeting our expectation, right? So that is what happens in the software too. In a software, if a child class replaces a parent class, it should behave properly. So which means it has to follow the same rules of the parent class so that we can replace it interchangeably. Okay. So simple line to remember is replacement should not create the surprises. So as I said, the example of a car, there is some expectation is there, right? So the child class and parent class also meet those expectations. Next is I, interface segregation principle. The rule is do not force client to depend on methods they do not use. Okay. For example, imagine like you are buying a TV remote, but the remote has buttons for AC functions, washing machine, microwave and fan. So you only wanted the TV controls, right? So here like you have too many unnecessary buttons that make the client difficult, or that will make the confusion to the client, right? So that's actually bad design. So users should only get what they need. In software, classes should not be forced to depend on things they don't use. So simple line to remember, keep it very specific. If you need the AC remote or TV remote, just give that only. Next is dependency inversion principle, DIP. The rule is depend on abstraction, not on concrete implementation. Okay, so consider you are building your home. Okay, so you have the electric wire is there and you want to charge your laptop, right? So what usually we do, so we will have a consider in this scenario we have the wire and we need to charge the laptop. So we will take the laptop charger and we will be using the soldering iron, we will solder it with the wire, right? So in that case the laptop charging will work. So it is tightly coupled, right? So if I want to charge the mobile phone, or if I want to charge like a fan or TV or something like that, if I want to connect, okay, will it possible? No, right? Because the laptop and the wire is tightly coupled. So what usually we will do, so wall will be there and we have some kind of a electric board will be there and we have adapters will be there, we have a switch will be there, right? So it is a kind of a pure abstraction. Okay, so the electricity is not like a only connected with the laptop, right? It has a abstract layer, adapter is there, we can connect the laptop or we can connect like anything, we can connect mobile, fan, everything that we can use. Okay, so that is what we call the dependency inversion principle. Okay, so I believe we have explained the 5 basic principle in the solid method or solid principles. Okay, so in our coming video we can do a detailed discussion of each principle. Okay, so it's just a start. So I hope this video help you to understand the basics of solid principle. So please do like and subscribe. So in our next video we can explain on the single responsibility principle, and we can discuss about its use cases, and we can try it out some sample codes, all those things that we can do in our coming videos. So that's it. Have a nice day. Bye bye.